going on, y'all? This is Intergalactic Brew. I'm going to give you my second half of my NFL Week 1 predictions. Okay, so starting this off, we have New England versus Tennessee. This is a big game for the Patriots, I believe, because I think Tennessee has shown enough in the preseason that they can hang with any team out there. They've got a solid offense, got a solid defense, and they've got a new quarterback in Jake Locker, which I think was a good move by the coaching staff. Get somebody a little bit younger and fresher under center to really get these guys going. Some keys in this game for Tennessee, I think it's going to come down to the running game with Chris Johnson. That's going to carry them through on offense, and on defense I think it's going to come down to turnovers and pass rush for the defense. As far as New England goes, on offense, I mean, Tom Brady does what he does. I'll just say that. The defense really concerns me here. They're gonna have to try to create turnovers and get to Jake Locker, which is going to be a very hard thing to do because Jake Locker is a very athletic quarterback and he has a very big arm, and he also does well at maintaining his composure in the pocket as well to get that ball out. So that's going to be a tough task for the New England Patriots. But if they can step up and rush the passer as well as create turnovers, they've got a chance. But based on what I've seen, I don't trust it. I don't believe it. So with that being said, I'm going to pick the upset. Tennessee goes into Foxborough and wins. Second game, we got the San Francisco 49ers going against the Green Bay Packers. This is going to be a war at Lambeau Field. The classic NFC rivalry right here. The ways to win for the Green Bay Packers, I think the Green Bay Packers on offense have to I think they've got to get that running game going. They acquired Cedric Benson, which was a huge surprise. So I think that'll give them more confidence in their running game. I mean, sure, they've got James Starks and John Kuhn, who does play fullback at times, but I think they're going to rely on Cedric Benson to get that run game going, just to let people know that they still have one, because we know what they can do passing wise. They've got an all-star receiving core along with, you know, tight ends and stuff. So we know what they can do there. We know what Aaron Rodgers can do. He's a former Super Bowl MVP. He's a Super Bowl champion. This is a Super Bowl team. So I think they could come out and get it done, but I think it's going to start with the run game first. I think that's what they need to do there. Defensively, they're going to have to do a better job of creating turnovers. I think that pass rush is going to have to step it up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, you know, the pass rush and turnovers, definitely a factor, or going to be one in this game. As far as the San Francisco defense is concerned,
Threat has been
I think they just need to pick up. I think they need to pick up where they left off last season. You know, with the way that they played, I think their defense did a good job in the pass rush. I think their secondary did a good job as well, turning the ball over. So basically, you know, both defenses have to accomplish the same thing. Get to the rush the respected passer and get the necessary turnovers to give your offense the right field position to score. Bottom line. Who do I see winning the game? I think the main thing is going to be who can establish themselves first. And I think not only because, I'm not saying this not only because they're at home, but I really think Green Bay needs to come out and establish themselves in this game first, because I think they have the most to prove, being that they had a horrible second half of the season last year leading into the playoffs when they got upset by the Giants. So I think Green Bay has to come out and win this game. And I think with Green Bay having that pressure on them, I think they'll be able to respond. So I'm going to pick Green Bay to edge it out, maybe about like 3-4 points. I'm going to say maybe 17-14. It's going to be a low-scoring game, although I'm hoping and praying we see a high-scoring game here, because I think both teams have explosive enough offenses to make that happen. But I think it's going to come down to the defenses here, and I think they're going to be kicking field goals most of the game. But hopefully I'm wrong. But I'm going to pick Green Bay to edge it out over San Francisco. Going on to a game that I really don't give two dams about. Tampa Bay against Carolina. You know, it's really whatever. I mean, we know Carolina has that offense with Cam Newton. We know they can score. Their defense is kind of average, if you ask me. I know I'm going to get some hate from the Carolina Panties or Cubs or whatever you want to call them fans. I really don't care. The Buccaneers, one thing I can say, they do have a solid defense. It's not great, but it's solid. And I think it'll be enough to hold off Cam Newton. Although Cam Newton will make some plays in this game. Carolina will go on a run. But I really don't see them doing too much to really you know, put Tampa Bay in a bad position. Actually, I think Tampa Bay is the better team in this situation, as much as I hate to say that. Like I said, I really don't give a crap about this whole game, if you ask me. But if I had to pick somebody, I'll go with Tampa Bay, because I think their defense is solid enough to pressure Cam Newton and force him to make bad decisions that will eventually lead into interceptions. I think for Tampa Bay on offense, I think they need to run the ball more than likely. They've got two good running backs in their backfield in LeGarrette Blount and Doug Martin. So I think they are going to try to be physical and run the ball against Carolina. Carolina's run defense is terrible. I mean, you know, a turtle can run past their D-line and linebackers. So, yeah, I definitely believe Tampa Bay's running game is going to be their key to winning on offense. And like I said, defensively, I think they've got a solid defensive front to get to Cam Newton, and I think they've got opportunistic secondary that can make plays on the ball when it's there. So even though I don't give a damn about this game, I'm going to go and pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, you know, whatever. I really don't care. I hope they don't show that game, by the way, at halftime. I really don't, because I really don't care about that game. But a game that I am interested about, on the other hand, which will be the first game of Sunday Night Football, the Denver Broncos going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Where is this going to be played at? Oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going on the road. Very interesting. Okay. Now, for those of you that may not know, these two teams are no strangers to each other. They were opponents last year in the playoffs, and we all know what happened there, so I don't even have to go into that. But I think this is going to be a very big game for Peyton Manning. I don't think the pressure is going to be on the Steelers here because the Steelers know how to win games on the road. They're a Super Bowl team. They're a seasoned team with a lot of experience with Ben Roethlisberger, of course, and Troy Polamalu leading the defense. So I'm not really worried about the Steelers. I'm actually worried about the Broncos more, because being that they made some changes like everybody else has, and being that this is going to be Peyton Manning's first actual game back in over a year, it'll be interesting to see, how he handles it. Now, from what I've seen so far, he's done pretty good, but it'll be just interesting to see how he handles that real game speed again. Because, when you've been off for like about a year, it takes a little time to get back in that flow. We all know that. So I think this game is going to be more so what can Peyton do as opposed to what can Ben Roethlisberger do. Now, hopefully Ben Roethlisberger is fully healthy this season, because we know, he had that toe injury last season, and it really slowed him down a bit. But Peyton was also injured last season too, to be fair. He did miss the entire season with a neck injury, but he did have surgery, and apparently he is 100% healthy again. So let's see how he puts that to use. Now, as far as the game goes, the keys or the ways to win for the Denver Broncos, first of all, on offense, Peyton Manning has got to get that ball out quick as hell, because the Steeler defense, elite defense, knows how to rush the passer. Secondary is great. So Peyton Manning is going to have to get that ball out as quick as he can, because if he doesn't, we might see Peyton Manning's career end before it even starts, because that Steelers defense is ultra physical. We know that. Especially if James Harrison is back in the lineup. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They are just terror for any offense if you got James Harrison in there. And then on top of that, you've got that hard-hitting secondary with Polamalu, Ryan Clark, Ike Taylor. The list goes on and on. So I think Peyton Manning is really going to have to get on one accord with his receivers and tight ends. We've seen them struggle at times in the preseason, but hopefully they've patched all that up, because they're going to need to be in sync almost if they're going to beat this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Because this Pittsburgh Steelers team looks ready. They've dropped a couple of games or two in the preseason, but that's nothing. They're an elite team, so they know how to manage all that. And plus, they're very well coached by Mike Tomlin, so I'm not really worried about that. But that's the offensive side. Now, the defensive side is very interesting, because Ben Roethlisberger is very difficult to bring down. He's basically a defensive lineman playing an offensive position. I know that's an old cliche, but it's true. The guy's like, what, 6'5", 230 something. The guy's built like a fucking Spartan, pretty much. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see the strategy for the Broncos D-line on how they're going to be able to take Ben Roethlisberger down. Are they going to blitz him? Are they going to, use some stunts? What are they going to do? I really don't know. They've got a good defensive coordinator. No, not even good. A great defensive coordinator in Jack Del Rio, who they just acquired in the offseason. So it'll be interesting to see how he puts together his strategy to take down Ben Roethlisberger throughout the game. But like I said, that's going to be a difficult task. And basically, for the Steelers on offense, I mean, there's really not much to say. I mean, you know, they've got the receivers that can make plays. I mean, we know Antonio Brown, what he can do. They still got Emmanuel Sanders. They got, you know, their tight end, Heath Miller. They recently added Leonard Pope from the Chiefs. And hopefully Mike Wallace will be able to play in this game. That'll be nice to see. I know he's still waiting on his deal to get confirmed with the front office, but hopefully they get that sorted out at least by the end of the weekend or leading up to Sunday night. but yeah, I think for the offense, you know, I think you know, Ben Roethlisberger just has to get the ball out to his receivers. I mean, you know, they've got a very good passing attack. You know, and the one thing about Ben Roethlisberger that people still tend to forget is that this guy knows how to throw, still knows how to make plays with the ball, even if he's about to get hurt. I've never seen that in a, I mean, you know, not even in a long time, but, you know, I've just never seen a quarterback of Ben Roethlisberger's caliber that even when the pocket is breaking down and he does have these linemen coming at him, he still has enough just to get that ball out at the last split second. I mean, a lot of other quarterbacks have done it, but not how Ben Roethlisberger does it. I mean, this guy is literally getting popped, and the ball will be out of his hands, and the next thing you know, the receiver's downfield to the 20 or the 10 and in the end zone. I mean, it's just very inspiring and in awe. So yeah, but you know, that's basically the offense for you for the Steelers. I mean, you know, Ben Roethlisberger has just gotta, you know, make the right throws, and that's that. And the defense, there's really not much to say either. I mean, you know, they know how to get to the quarterback, and the secondary knows how to get interceptions. So there's really not too much to say. And I guess I'm gonna have to go with the Steelers. You know, I mean, the Broncos, like I said, they're a good team, but I still think they have a ways to go. You know, their defense is one of the better defenses in the NFL, but I still think they have a ways to go. And I still think Peyton Manning is still going to have to get used to getting reacquainted with the NFL game speed. Because, you know, time is real, and rust is real. And Peyton Manning hasn't played like a full season of football in about a year. That counts, people. That does. But you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Steelers to beat the Broncos. So there you have it. It's been my predictions for week 1, and I'll probably do a video maybe Monday talking about the results of the games, especially the Falcons and the Chiefs. And yeah, that's it. So y'all enjoy week 1. Football is back, so let's get ready. Deuces.